Breaking news for millions of Americans. If you're counting on Social Security, SSDI, or SSI payments this January 2026, you need to hear this right now. The Social Security Administration has just confirmed the official payment dates, and there are some critical changes you absolutely cannot afford to miss. Whether you're receiving retirement benefits, disability payments, or supplemental income, these dates will determine exactly when your money hits your account. And here's what's shocking. Thousands of beneficiaries miss out on their payments every single month simply because they don't know the confirmed schedule or understand how the payment system actually works. In the next few minutes, I'm breaking down everything you need to know. We're talking exact payment dates based on your birth date, what to do if your payment doesn't arrive on time, and the insider tips that Social Security representatives won't always tell you. Plus, I'll reveal a little-known trick that could help you access your funds even faster. This isn't just another Social Security video. This is your financial lifeline for January 2026. We've done all the research, verified everything with official SSA sources, and we're laying it all out in the simplest way possible. But before we dive in, do me a huge favor, smash that like button right now. It helps us reach more people who desperately need this information, and it tells YouTube to share this critical update with everyone who depends on Social Security. All right, let's get straight into this because time is money, and when it comes to your Social Security payments, every single day matters. January 2026 is already here, and if you're one of the nearly 70 million Americans who depend on Social Security, SSDI, or SSI payments, you need to know exactly when your money is coming and what could potentially delay it. The Social Security Administration has confirmed all the payment dates for this month, and I'm going to walk you through everything step by step so you can plan your finances with complete confidence. Now, before we dive into the specific dates, let me explain how the Social Security payment system actually works, because understanding this will help you figure out your exact payment date every single month for the rest of your life. The SSA doesn't just randomly pick dates to send out checks. There's actually a very specific system in place, and it's based primarily on your birth date and the type of benefit you're receiving. This might seem complicated at first, but once you understand the pattern, it becomes incredibly simple. Let's start with regular Social Security retirement benefits, because this is what most people are receiving. If you started receiving Social Security benefits before May 1997, you're in a special category. Your payment comes on the third day of every month, regardless of when you were born. So for January 2026, if you fall into this category, your payment was scheduled to arrive on January 3rd. Now, if January 3rd falls on a weekend or federal holiday, the payment gets moved to the last business day before that date. But this month, January 3rd was a Friday, so those payments went out right on schedule. But here's where it gets interesting for everyone else. If you started receiving benefits after May 1997, your payment date is determined by your birth date, and the SSA has divided this into 4 different groups. If you were born between the 1st and the 10th of any month, your Social Security payment arrives on the 2nd Wednesday of each month. For January 2026, that means your payment date is January 14th. If you were born between the 11th and the 20th, your payment comes on the 3rd Wednesday, which is January 21st this month. And if you were born between the 21st and the 31st, your payment arrives on the 4th Wednesday of the month, which falls on January 28th for this month. Now let's talk about SSI, which is Supplemental Security Income, because this follows a completely different schedule. SSI payments always come on the first day of the month, but here's the twist that confuses a lot of people. If the first day of the month falls on a weekend or holiday, SSI recipients actually get their payment on the last business day of the previous month. So technically, your January 2026 SSI payment should have arrived on December 31st, 2025, because January 1st was a federal holiday. If you receive SSI and you didn't get that payment at the end of December, you need to contact the Social Security Administration immediately because something is wrong. SSDI, which stands for Social Security Disability Insurance, follows the same schedule as regular Social Security retirement benefits. So if you're receiving SSDI, you need to look at your birth date and follow those Wednesday payment schedules I just mentioned. The key thing to understand here is that SSDI is different from SSI, even though they both involve disability. SSDI is based on your work history and the Social Security taxes you paid during your working years, while SSI is a need-based program for people with limited income and resources. That's why they have different payment schedules. Now, let me address something that causes massive confusion and stress for millions of beneficiaries every single month. What happens if your payment doesn't show up on the scheduled date? First of all, don't panic immediately. If you receive your payment by direct deposit, which the SSA strongly encourages, it might take until the end of the business day for the money to appear in your account. Different banks process deposits at different times, so just because it's not there at 8 in the morning doesn't mean there's a problem. Some banks release the funds at midnight, others wait until normal business hours, and some don't post until late afternoon. However, if your scheduled payment date has passed and you still don't see the money after 3 business days, that's when you need to take action. The first step is to check your account online at the Social Security Administration website. You can create a My Social Security account if you don't already have one, and this will show you the status of your payments, your payment history, and any issues that might be affecting your account. Sometimes there are holds placed on accounts due to various reasons like updated information needed or changes in your circumstances that you need to address. If everything looks normal online but you still haven't received your payment, your next step is to contact the Social Security Administration directly. You can call their main number at 1-800-772-1213, and they're available Monday through Friday from 7 in the morning until 7 in the evening. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Getting through to a live person can take a while, especially during the first week of the month when call volume is at its highest. My advice is to call either early in the morning, right when they open, or later in the afternoon, when things tend to slow down a bit. Let me share something really important that a lot of people don't realize. If you're still receiving paper checks instead of direct deposit, your payment timeline is going to be different and, honestly, much less reliable. Paper checks are mailed out on the same schedule, but then you have to factor in mail delivery time, which can vary wildly depending on where you live and what's happening with the postal service. The Social Security Administration cannot guarantee when a mailed check will arrive, and if it gets lost in the mail, the process to replace it can take weeks. This is exactly why the SSA has been pushing so hard for everyone to switch to direct deposit. Switching to direct deposit is actually incredibly easy, and if you haven't done it yet, January is a great time to make that change. You can set it up online through your My Social Security account, you can call the SSA and do it over the phone, or you can visit your local Social Security office in person. All you need is your bank account number and your bank's routing number, which you can find on your checks or by calling your bank. Once it's set up, your payments will arrive like clockwork, and you'll never have to worry about lost or stolen checks again. Now, let's talk about some scenarios that might affect your payment amount or timing this month. If you're working while receiving Social Security benefits and you haven't reached full retirement age yet, there are earnings limits that could affect your benefits. For 2026, if you're under full retirement age for the entire year, you can earn up to a certain amount before the SSA starts withholding benefits. If you go over that limit, they'll withhold $1 in benefits for every $2 you earn above the threshold. This doesn't mean your money is gone forever, though. Once you reach full retirement age, the SSA will recalculate your benefit and give you credit for the months when benefits were withheld. Another situation that affects a lot of people is when you're receiving both Social Security and SSI. Some people qualify for both programs, and if that's you, you need to pay attention to both payment schedules. Your SSI payment will come on the first of the month or the last business day of the previous month if the first falls on a weekend or holiday, and your Social Security payment will come based on your birth date following that Wednesday schedule we talked about earlier. These are two separate payments, and they might go into the same bank account if you have direct deposit set up, but they're coming from different programs and on different days. Here's something else that's really important to understand about January specifically. This is the month when the cost of living adjustment takes effect. The COLA for 2026 has already been announced, and this means your payment amount might be different than it was in December. Make sure you're looking at the correct amount when you check your account, because if you're expecting the same amount you got last year, you might be surprised when you see a different number. The COLA is designed to help your benefits keep up with inflation, so in most years, this means a slight increase in your monthly payment. If you moved recently or changed your bank account, this is absolutely critical information. You need to report any changes to the Social Security Administration immediately, because if they're sending your payment to an old address or an old bank account, you're not going to receive it. Updating your information can be done online, by phone, or in person, and the sooner you do it, the better. If your payment was already processed to an old account, it can take additional time to reroute it and get it to you, which means you could be waiting even longer for money you need. Let me also address something that concerns a lot of people, especially those who are new to receiving benefits. Your payment date will never change as long as your birth date doesn't change, which obviously it won't. So once you know your payment schedule, you can count on it month after month. This makes budgeting and planning so much easier because you know exactly when your money is coming. You can set up automatic bill payments for the day after your Social Security deposit hits, you can plan your grocery shopping, and you can manage your finances with confidence. For those of you who are caregivers or representative payees for someone else receiving Social Security, all of this information applies to you as well. The payment will come on the same schedule based on the beneficiary's birth date, and it's your responsibility to make sure that money is used for the beneficiary's needs. The Social Security Administration takes representative payee responsibilities very seriously, and you may be required to file annual reports showing how the funds were spent. As we wrap up here, I want to make sure you understand that staying informed about your Social Security payments is one of the most important things you can do for your financial security. These benefits are money you've earned through years of hard work, and you deserve to receive every penny on time and without hassle. Mark your calendar with your payment date, set up direct deposit if you haven't already, and keep your contact information updated with the Social Security Administration. If you found this information helpful and it answered your questions about January 2026 Social Security payments, make sure you're subscribed to this channel because we cover important updates like this every single month. Drop a comment below and let me know what other Social Security topics you'd like us to cover. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.